And from music and entertainment to matters lifestyle now, which is also our last conversation this Thursday morning, we want to find out what Vijana Tubonge as a community-based organization is doing in their community as it pertains to creation of awareness, targeting vulnerable groups and seeing how best they can empower and lift their lives. My guest this morning will be helping us understand all of that. I'm joined by Kezia Kamau to my extreme right. She is the Vice President at Vijana Tubonge. Right next to her is Ben Gashoki, who is the Director Operations Vijana Tubonge. Lady and gent, karibu to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tuanze na VP. Tell us about Vijana Tubonge, when it began and the aim behind the CBO.
Okay. So initially we began in 2017 as a mentorship program, but we registered back then in 2019. Yeah.
Registered in 2019,
yeah,
but it was formed in 2017.
Yeah.
So you were in for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, what were you trying to target Mki from Vijana Tubonge? It was basically to do what, to assist in what area?
So initially when Vijana Tubonge began, we were doing mentorship. And our target that time was the learners, the students, both in primary school and secondary school. But then in 2019, we expanded our operation, and now we operate dealing with actually everyone in the society. Because things that we deal with, they touch everyone in the society. Because we touch on health, environment, and you see environment touches on everyone.
Yes.
Health touches on everyone. Mentorship touches on everyone also. Yeah, so right now we are dealing with everyone across the board.
So you target audience, when you target people, the kila mtu.
Kila mtu.
Bora kila mtu anataka usaidizi.
Sisi ni watu wa kila. Sisi tunapenda watu.
Ni watu wa watu.
Kabisa.
Kezia, talk to us about those pillars. I know Ben has mentioned health, environment, mentorship, there's innovations. At least break it down for us, these pillars and what each of them does when it comes to helping like, to assist our everyone.
Okay, so we have 6 pillars. We have the charity pillar, the chapters pillar, the talent and innovation pillar, the mentorship pillar, and the health pillar. So in charity, we basically go visit children's homes, whereby we give them, foodstuffs and clothes. We give them foodstuffs and clothes. We have the health pillar, where basically we teach young girls about menstruation and hygiene, and basically also distribute pads. We have the talent pillar, whereby we just nurture talent ya vijana. And then we have the chapters pillar, where we diversify. We are looking into diversifying into different constituencies, if not the continent of the world.
There's something I've noticed about CBOs or organization, NGOs altogether. Anytime they're out there trying to or give assistance or help in one way or the other for community, health and education never misses. Well, for you, I know maybe there might not be education per se, but kuna health. What is so peculiar about health that it just has to feature when it comes to helping and assisting the communities? Let me pick your mind on that, Casey.
Okay, for me, I believe all girls are not enlightened about menstruation when they're having their menses, how they're supposed to maybe change the pad, or how they're about to shower, fold, all those things. So for us, we basically look into giving them the knowledge and teaching them how to take care of themselves, basically the girls.
Ben, you mentioned that you deal with everyone, especially when it comes to that issue of health and even trying to sensitize and talk to girls. It's all about teaching them, more like empowering them. But it's actually a challenge that cuts across, by the way. So how do you go about sourcing? Kusema now we'll pick on this set of girls. Tunaona hawa ndio wako na shida sana. Maybe we'll start with this one. How do you just go about sourcing these vulnerable people, vulnerable persons?
Let me begin with genesis of Vijana Tubonge. We went to our first Pads Drive campaign. What necessitated for us to go to this Pads Drive campaign was that one day we got news that girls in Kirinyaga County, young girls for that matter, were exchanging sex for pads. The poverty level had made them, they were not able to access a pad, which is 50 shillings. So they would go and have sex with someone, and then they get pads would be bought for them. So this touched our hearts very much. And then we realized that girls in what we might call ghetto were suffering behind the scenes. So we began distributing pads here at Githogondo, We've done also in Kiamanyeki. Those are the local areas in Moya, Kirinyaga County. And we get our target from these villages, that is. We get our target from these villages, and of course, we have people on the ground who, of course, tell us, I think we should visit these places. And we do a feasibility test. We visit those places, and at least we assess and see that really this place needs a patch drive campaign.
I think that makes sense, doing that visibility test, because sometimes it can be difficult to actually say, to answer a he lot, then we'll go to this lot. How would you then actually go about identify? But Kezia, Ben is telling us really what sort of like formed the whole narrative of beginning Vijana Tubonge, particularly when it comes to that distribution of pads. Do you have a story for you as a person that perhaps, you know, touched you and said, like, for me as a person, I want to do this. I want to assist my community in this capacity, because again, it's not easy for you to be doing this. Finance is always a challenge.
For sure. For me, I normally say, for me, charity is a calling combined with a passion. When I was younger, my mom has taught me to give. I remember during Christmas, she would give me a package, and I would go with my friends to a home and give out the package. So from then, I decided I'm going to do this. I want to do this. But I remember one time we were at Githogondo, and a few ladies approached me, and they told me, you know what, Kezia, I want to talk to you. And a month ago, my uncle raped me. And then I said, I'm going to do this. So the issues down there, that's so sad. That was so sad. That was one of the most heartbreaking moments for me. It was so sad.
I mean, the issues down there are that serious. It just goes beyond what you see on Facebook.
Yeah, for sure.
So listening or hearing that story is what made you say, by the way,
I'm going to do this.
Wow, I mean, that is difficult. Let's talk about the mentorship. And the target group when it comes to mentorship. When you look at our young generation, mentorship is always a challenge. We keep saying that we sort of have lost a sense of direction because we lack mentors. In essence, we always feel like we know. How do you go about doing this mentorship, and to which groups particularly, and why?
So we normally approach different schools, the secondary and the primary schools, whereby we go and advise them. We teach them, we give them career talks, and maybe enlighten them about money and their finances. We go to church, and also we talk to the youth, because basically Vijana Tubonge, it's a youth-based organization.
So you go down to churches, to the villages and all that. Is there a plan to expand? You're in Moya.
Yes.
Kirinyaga County. Do you have sort of plans to expand? Because when you look at this issue that even your pillar seeks to address, the issues that cut across, young people listen to vitu zenye wanapitia. What is your plan?
You heard us mention a pillar known as a chapters pillar, headed by a linguist known as Cynthia. The chapters pillar, its work is to expand the operations of Vijana Tubonge into other counties, other constituencies. Right now, we have guys who are planning on starting events in Kirinyaga University. We have a WhatsApp group that is planning its base in Chuka, and we also have a WhatsApp group that is planning its base in Nairobi. So you see, we are trying to diverse ourselves, and we want to reach out to everyone. So every youth who is there should foster to be a member of Vijana Tubonge.
We're the next big thing in the country.
The handshake is the next big thing. That is a huge statement to make. When it comes to assisting of young people. All right. Now, finances is always a challenge. And there's a part that I actually read from your profile is that you said that if given, where is it? If given a chance, you can be able to do more. So what chances is that you're seeking that if you're given, you can be able to do more?
Doreen, we have a shortage of pads and condoms. So far, we have distributed 7,000 condoms in a year and 5,200 pads. within a year. So we are looking into sponsorship. People can just come and donate, the pads, different organizations, because we want to reach out to more girls, because as Ben said, we have girls who are selling themselves for a pad that's worth 50 shillings.
Yeah,
so we are really, it's everywhere. But we want to bring we want to start the change from home, and then as we diversify.
Ben, what about you? I mean, you're both in this organization, and sometimes what I may feel as a challenge may not necessarily be what you feel. Of course, finances is huge anywhere you go when it comes to especially helping societies and communities. What other issues are you facing as it pertains to perhaps making sure that your vision and mandate, gets out there?
Let me, first of all, allow me to go back to what Kezia was saying, kindly. As Vijana Tubonge, we have a calendar of events, and we also, amazingly, my directors, because the pillars are headed by directors, and I am their chief director.
Yes.
So my directors, 3 of them have devised strategic plans. You can imagine. Youths who have devised strategic plans running for 4 years. So to achieve these strategic plans, we need resources and monetary resources for that matter. But again, we also need other resources like goods, that is pads, condoms, and also for charity, we need food, cereals, and such stuff. We also face challenges in issues related to mostly it's the resources, the monetary thing, because where money is, at least you're able to achieve a lot of things. So there are those companies that have CSR, and of course they don't know where to take their CSR.
Yeah,
we are here.
We are here. They bring the money, then we're going to show them how to use the money.
Because you have a good initiative.
We have a good initiative, and of course we have a strategic plan. So if they can see that strategic plan, I'm very sure they can support us.
And it's handwritten.
So everything is laid down from day one to when you want the vision to be actualized.
Kabisa.
This is where they need to be putting your money in Vijana Tubonge.
They should.
Of course.
All right, why I asked about that issue of maybe a challenge, because yes, like I mentioned, and just as both of you are in agreement, finances is an issue, but you mentioned it's headed by different directors. Sometimes you get to see in organizations that this is my vision, but pale katikati kuna mtu anakuja tu na kastori kake, kuna tu some form of misalignment. Have you had to undergo that in Vijana Tubonge since its inception in 2017? I'm seeing like Kezia is agreeing already.
No, one thing, we are a team. Sisi hatuna competition. We do not compete.
Because that's the thing, by
we
the
don't
way.
compete. We are a team. We believe in, teamwork. Because when we work as a team, we achieve so much. So us as VT, we work as a team, so we do not have, those wrangles. Wewe umefanya hivi, no. There's no jealousy. We are all into CSR. We all love charity, and the good thing is that no one is there for any political gain. So we are there to help. There are people, the directors are people who love, the people. They love helping. So you find that myself, our president, Karoga Kamau, our patron, Honorable Gadson Mushina, all of us together, we are a team. And we make sure we deliver. So there is no time for, so you do this. No. We are a team. Yeah.
So then that speaks a lot to the aspect of we need to have the same vision, a similar vision when it comes to perhaps forming some or most of these organizations or even CBOs altogether.
True.
All right, when it comes to that question of pads, I understand that you distributed, was it about
70,000?
70,000.
Yeah.
And you
Condoms.
do this on an annual basis?
No.
You do this after a period of how long?
No, each pillar has an event. We have a calendar of events, so that helps us. Like for instance, we are having an event coming this 19th March. We have a charity event whereby we're also going to distribute pads to the children's home that we are going to go to. So we do it like monthly, basically monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the annually is the feeding of street kids.
Yeah.
Yes, known as a Nilisha charity event.
And you've fed over 70 kids in a total of 4 years. How have you sustained this? I mean, it is not easy feeding street children.
Yeah.
First of all, with just what it comes with, the environment itself, getting the food,
Sure.
Yeah.
and sustaining it year 1, year 2, 3, 4 onward. Let me start with you, Kezia.
The good thing, again, I'll stick to the part where we are, you know, we are a team. So you find that kuna watu wanajitolea, they're going to, you know, I'm going to, you know, the chapels, there's someone else who's going to come with a bag, nitafanya hii, you get, and then we look for donors. We mobilize how to get the funds. And then you find that people, because I believe different corporates, they are seeing what you are doing and you are doing a good job, so they bring in the funds. Yeah.
What about you, Ben? How do you go about getting the street kids? Because just like the earlier question, I mean, street kids is one of those areas whereby I feel like it needs a keen interest in trying to understand even how you will mobilize or choose to say, I will deal with this ones for this period. How do you go about this one?
Getting the street kids, actually, they know us.
Yeah.
They wanajua mna exist.
Wanatujua, and there's a place we go and meet them and we tell them, kama kawaida, 31st tunawapikia. And they know. And let me thank ACK.
This is 31st of December.
31st of December, every year. And let me thank ACK Wanguru for giving us the venue for all that time. And of course, those donors who've always been coming on board. So we get these street kids by, we interact with them. So we go to them and remind them that it is something that we are doing again, as we have always been doing.
Tumerudi tena.
Tumerudi.
For a good cause, by the way.
And you know, even after a whole year, you need to, you need to give back. God ametupea, you know, a life, the whole
selfish.
Usikwe selfish. Peana pesa.
Tupendane.
Tupendane.
Speaking of donors, you have had some good support from National AIDS Control Council, NAC, as well as Women Rep Kirinyaga Purity. What are some of the impact that these persons have played, especially when it comes to steering the CBO forward? Because like I was saying, it's all for a good cause. We're all here to help where we can.
For National AIDS Control Council, they have given us exposure. And we've been working hand in hand with the regional coordinator, Mr. Julius Kome. He's been supporting us a lot. There's also another supporting partner, that is UN CRISP by Perez. He's been supporting us a lot. And actually, these guys have given us an exposure whereby I am in the sitting technical working group of Kirinyaga County, working on gender-based violence. And I also sit in the Region 17 technical working group, working on dyslexia in learning. So these are the opportunities that these people have given us and exposed us to such platforms. I also thank one of our sponsors also, that is Dr. Kanyi, who is working with the Kerugoya Hospital, and NASCOP, who is a NASCOP. So he's been supporting us and giving us these platforms, calling us to meetings and inviting us to this technical working group. Sorry.
I just had to mention NASCOP, by the way.
You have an affiliation.
I mean, you know, I don't even know why we're running out of time, but
okay.
When I hear you speak and you talk about exposure, it makes me feel like, indeed, like as a young generation, at least kuna wale wenye wana feel to some extent it's important, because when you talk to most young people, we always think, I don't want exposure. Like when we began this conversation, I said, we always feel like we know. Tunajua. So why would you be giving me exposure? And sometimes it's like it forms the basis of the areas you want to get into and grow into, right? Let's talk about the gains, just in a quickie, that you have made so far when it comes to the different areas that you're targeting and the different lives that you've touched. Kezia.
Okay, for me the gain is the smile I get to see from the kids that we interact. That's it for me. It's a
that's
smile.
It for you.
Yeah, that's
when
it
you just
for
see
me.
the smile on
and then they're just like, Kezia. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, thank you, God.
What can I smile to wako sawa?
Mimi niko tu sawa.
Uko content?
I'm contented. You know, like when I just go there, then I interact with them, and then they're happy. We buy them sweets, we give them our packages. That's it for me. That's the gain for me. Nothing else.
That's it for you.
Sitaki. No. That's why I say it, for me, charity is a calling. Yeah.
It needs to be, because most of us, good number of people are really motivated by what am I going to get out of this at the end of the day. What's it for you, Ben?
For me, it's achieving what I have planned. For instance, if I have several objectives, and of course I have very many objectives to achieve from the various pillars. If I achieve an objective and I tick that this objective has been met, that is a gain for me. And that is what makes me feel good and makes me feel happy. Yeah.
We just have 2 minutes to go, and I want to give each of you a minute to respond to this last question. In essence, 2017 up till now, it's been a great journey. It's been a milestone. You've talked about the gains, the different things that you're doing, and I want you to tell us what more in terms of moving forward as it pertains to helping these persons, vulnerable people in the community. What should we expect? Because the way you're talking earlier, you were saying that wale when your companies with CSR, they don't know what to do with their money. Tuko hapa. Speak to those people.
For me, I think we have just begun diversifying. For us being here at KBC,
Yes.
it's an honor. So for me, I'm looking forward to seeing VT, you know, in the national hapo juu kabisa, whereby our maybe next president is going to recognize us. We are going even to get an award, you know, and we are going even to reach out to many people across the country. Yeah.
Reaching
That's
out
the
is
goal.
the key thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Ben, lastly.
For me, we have strategic plans. And of course, these strategic plans, they have to be met. I tell my directors that what you've planned has to be met. We don't know how, but we believe it has to be met.
When into planning.
Yeah. I push them to do these things, and they also have the will to do these things. In the next very few years, trust me, Vijana Tubonge will be a recon.
We are the next
People will
big
be.
thing.
Yani wewe umesema sisi ndo tuko.
Tumeanza hapa. You know, this is grace. This is grace and
yes,
favor.
it is.
Meaning God ametu favor. So we are, guys, I know they are watching. We are the next big thing.
And of course,
Yeah,
quickly.
we are partnering with other organizations, SUSO, Talep, and others. We are coming together, and of course, as we grow, we want to tag along with these other people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fair enough. We have to end.
Dushin, let me just say something about our patron. Yeah, for sure. We have our patron. He's a mentor. He's our MCA at Tebere Ward, Mheshimiwa Gadson Mushina. Thank you so much, Paps, for, you know, you're the one. He's the one who has made us to be here. So thank you so much.
I'm Kitu organization. All right, so that's a good place to end it. I have been speaking with Kezia Kamau, the Vice President Vijana Tubonge, as well as Ben Gashoki, Chief Director Operations at the same CBO. They have been talking to us about what they're doing at the community level. Just again, to just sensitize as a Kenyan, what can you do in your capacity when it comes to helping vulnerable persons in our society? This is why we bring this whole conversation to a close, and ultimately, good morning, Kenya. I'm Doreen Arange Okelo. On behalf of the entire team, we say thank you so much for watching. Till next week, have a beautiful morning.
Whew.